Henley here. I'm going to read to you a poem from my 2017 publication, Starshine Road. This is one of 3 poems about a junk pile. Junk pile as seen from my kitchen table. From here, it is 2 inches of rust red coral, a foot of chain link, wooden posts every 3 inches, a hanging gate. I am too far away, maybe 30 feet. Eucalyptus leaves are blotting out the scene with their circles. It is a problem of perspective. The only thing clear is the stack of bricks that are not the color of bricks but loaves of bread. Sourdough, rye, honey wheat. They collectively lean left toward the China berry tree, and beyond that, chicken wire housing a garden of window glass. Beyond that, the shed with no doors, the neighbors spanking each other, the network of spitting roads, the highway where cars are going to Vegas, Salt Lake, Taos. At this rate, they'll never make it. I could watch you lean toward your desires all day. Please. Promise me you are something close to content, at ease, something close, so we can keep on this way. What is this poem? Well, I grew up in Joshua Tree and also the neighboring town of Landers. And I moved back to Joshua Tree many times as an adult, and this poem was written the second time I moved back as an adult when I moved into my dad's cabin near the national park, where he kept one of his many junk piles. So right out the cabin window was one such junk pile in the middle of a corral, an old horse corral. And I spent a lot of time looking out that window. I was recovering from celiac disease and Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and was still pretty tired. I spent a lot of time just sort of sitting out the window and looking, and that provided me with a lot of poems, just sitting and observing. And it was also very healing and meditative to do that, to sharpen again my skills of observation, just sort of sitting and watching and listening. And this poem also has to do with things not being exactly what they seem or how they appear. Of course, the junk pile is 30 feet away from me, so it appears smaller, and so I'm playing with this idea of scale. And then looking beyond the junk pile at all the other strange things on the property. Everything sort of leaning left, leaning toward the earth. And then at the end, I think there's a bit of a surprise, and I probably surprised myself when I was writing it, addressing the you, addressing perhaps the reader. I could watch you lean toward your desires all day. And hoping that this arrangement works out for both parties, for the watcher and the watched, since I'm certainly content doing the watching. There are 3 junk poems in this collection, and I could probably write several more. The junk pile appears in a few of my essays as well that are set in the desert. Junk. I grew up with a dad who would go 4-wheeling out in the far reaches of the Mojave Desert and find all kinds of, strange, antiquated farm equipment and things from old settlements and bring them home. And he did that for 30 years. So he had quite a few pieces of, junk, his treasure. But that helped me as a writer to put a lot of concrete things in my poems. a lot of just objects going into the work, which I'm really glad about. I'm glad I have that at my disposal. Anyways, thanks for listening to my poem and my story behind the poem. And if you want to read more junk poems, then check out Starshine Road from Perusia Press.